Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn. Thank you for watching this video or any of my other videos that you may have run across, which I hope is all of them. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. And with all that said, let's get into it. Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And this is the first time I've reviewed a McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat figure. So, you know, this will be a little bit different, I suppose. 14 and up, not a toy. What? Anyway, McFarlane Toys. It's not a toy, but McFarlane Toys. And a squishy spawn head. A window right here in the top to let some light in over the figure. Mortal Kombat 11. Okay. Don't want to get no copyright strikes, so I won't do that. And there we have nice big window showcasing the figure. There. D shed some light on it. Showcasing the figure and his accessories. Shadow of Spawn. Nice little line right there. And, you know, the window does come around to the side just a little bit. Mortal Kombat 11. McFarlane Toys Squishy Spawn Head. And on this side, Mortal Kombat and Scorpion. Scorpion wins. Fatality. And on the bottom here, we have small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, some symbols I'm not going to learn, a funky number, and a barcode. On the back, Mortal Kombat 11. And, again, some Scorpion. 22 moving parts. And hashtag McFarlane Toys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. McFarlane Toys, McFarlane.com. Squishy Spawn Head, blah, 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 blah. Some more small, fine, legalese print, Warner Brothers print, Mortal Kombat print, and NetherRealm print. So I guess that's like the guys who made Mortal Kombat 11, that studio. I'm guessing. That, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging, which I have to say, the bright colors on it makes it really stand out. But that's it for the packaging. On to the toy. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have boop, boop, handy dandy tweezers. And first of all, he comes with these two chain accessories that are plastic, and you know, they move, but they do not hold any position except for the one that they come in. I'm sure maybe with some heat and some cold water, you could probably adjust that to your liking. Here we have a post which plugs into his back, the small of his back, I think. That's where I saw it. But you know, nice sculpted details on it, and you know, these parts at the end, that's pretty neat. And here's another one that is shaped differently, but the details are the same. Nice silver paint on both of those. His last accessory, your standard McFarlane Toys stand, Mortal Kombat Tampo on it. That's it. Now let's take a look at the figure himself, which to me, I'm not familiar with this version of Spawn in the game. Mortal Kombat 11, I think. And I really haven't played it, so I'm not familiar. As you know, I know there's several different figures of him. But when I saw this one, I was like, you know, that really reminds me of Spawn early on, as he was in, you know, some of the first issues back in the 90s. Of course, you know, originally he didn't have this. It came a little further in the book, and I believe the same with this. I don't recall. It's been a little while since I've read some Spawn. This piece, I'm not sure. It may come off, but it feels like it is glued on there. Also, the cape is glued, and the belt is also glued. Now, it does have some nice paint apps. However, unfortunately, no matter which way you turn the chest and the torso, the chest and abdomen, these lines will not line up exactly. But, you know, nice paint here at the eyes. And, you know, the cape it's plastic, what you pretty much come to expect. And there you can see up under there, it is glued right there. But it does have some nice details in it, nice sculpted details. The paint is a little shiny for my taste for a cape, but you know, it also gives it a kind of I don't know, an oily look to it, like it is living, which, you know, it is. It moves like it's alive, at least. But again, nice paint for the eyes and around the eyes. And, you know, striped down the arm here. Nice big boot on this side, spiked, and they are a little pointy. I wouldn't say they're as pointy as, say, an SH Figure Art Super Saiyan Goku hair. They won't pierce you if you mash too hard. And the Goku might not too, but it sure feels like it is. It will. Here we have the spiked armband here, and this gauntlet, or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. And then he does have a sort of a C-grip hand with one finger pointing out to where he could hold a weapon had he come with one. Well, he did. He come with chains. Nice pouch here, and again the buckles painted silver, so that's nice. And the silver paint apps on the spikes and the chains. So pretty neat. Let's take a look at his articulation. What we can see of it here with this cape collar. He can look up this far. He can look down that far. Let's see. Does he chicken neck? Oh yeah. He chicken necks some. It's got a little bit of waggle. Well, I'll say that. It's got a lot of waggle in there. He will do the full exorcist, which makes sense, seeing as how he was reborn from hell. At the shoulder, full 360 degree rotation, and it does have, I think what it has in there, it doesn't have a butterfly per se, but it moves like a butterfly. And it'll go back that far and forward that far. It's kind of a dumbbell, because it'll go, well, some of them go up and down too a little bit, and well, there he goes. So he'll go up and down too, and forward and back. So that's neat. Cut here at the upper bicep, and it doesn't want to move at all, but mess with it a little bit and it will get you a full 360. Double hinged pinned elbow, and it gives you that much range. 360 degree rotation at the wrist, and it's on your McFarlane ball joint, and you can, you know, this way or this way. You can put it whichever way that you need it. And same on this hand, although getting it to do 360 might be a bit difficult with this glove type deal in the way. Armor, whatever. Cut here at the mid-torso, or about the mid-torso. It's got all kind of hula. He can bend forward that far. He can bend back that far. And let's see. It will turn, and there's those peg holes for the chains. But it will give you a full 360-degree rotation there, and he also has a waist, and it's on a dumbbell, and you get some hula out of that, and a full 360-degree rotation. At the hips, he will give you the full splits. He will kick forward that far with a little bit of swing out, and back that far. Nothing at the thigh. Double hinged pinned knee. It gives you that much bend. And at the ankle, McFarlane ball joint. Well, I'm sure he's not the only one that uses that, but he does use that in all of his. Tilts down that far, tilts up that far. And it has a bit of rocker to it, and again you can move these ankle joints around to get more rocker if you need it for a specific pose, at least on this one. Toe tilt up that high, and let's see, does it have any down? No down on the toe tilt. On this one you're not going to get much out of it, but it does have the same amount of toe tilt. And it will tilt down that far and up that far till this boot part gets in the way. Now, as far as the chains go, I don't know if it really matters which way you put them in. But they just plug in like that. And you can move them around a little bit if you need to. There I go, bumping the camera, because that's what I do. It's not a Digital Caveman Presents episode until I bump the camera. And again, on this side it just plugs in, plug it in, plug it in. And there we go. That, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories. And now it's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Shadow of Spawn with the McFarlane Toys GameStop exclusive Bloody Violator Mega Fig from the Spawn line. And that's a big old chunky boy. If y'all haven't seen my review on the Bloody Violator, please go check that out. Hopefully I'll remember at some point to put a link to that video. Next up we have Shadow of Spawn with the Dark Knight Returns, the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Carrie Kelly Robin, and the Three Jokers Batman. Here's Shadow of Spawn with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 3 Jokers, the Joker, the Clown, and the DC Multiverse 3 Jokers Batgirl. How does Shadow of Spawn compare up with other lines? Let's take a look for a 7-inch comparison. Here we have Hordak from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Princes of Power subline. And making his cameo appearance from the Marvel Legends series, we have Stan the Man Lee. And here we have Shadow of Spawn with the G.I. Joe Classified series Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, and from Star Wars The Black Series we have the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. For final thoughts on the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn figure, I have to say, overall, I like this figure. It really reminds me of what I think of as classic Spawn, more so than the more modern versions of the character. The sculpt of the body, it's all smooth. There's no rippling or sculpted, I don't know what you would call it, but there's no texture to the costume. It's like it is a costume, like it is made of fabric, whereas newer versions are very textured. So that lends to the overall classic feel. Plus, you know, just I want to say the basic design of it. Issues really are, I don't want to say minimal, but my biggest issue is, you know, the lines on the front, no matter how you pose it, do not line up. The chest and the abdomen lines there that come down to the V at the crotch, you know, they just won't line up no matter how that you do it. The boot and the bracer, or whatever you want to call it, you know, they do hamper articulation somewhat, but overall I have to say I'm happy with the articulation on this guy. He seems to move a little better than some of the DC Multiverse figures that I have reviewed, even though they're basically the same. It may just be, you know, me. The chains, while they look nice, it really could use some articulated chain. You know, with a wire running through it. And I may eventually do that, provided I can find the right chain to do this with. I do have some chain, but it's black chain rather than silver chain. That's all I could find, and for what I was using it for, it was fine. So at some point I may revisit this figure and give him some actually movable chain, but for now this will do. I was really looking for a more comic book, old school comic book feel to a Spawn to come along, to have one go with the GameStop Bloody Violator, which I realize that one is a more modern take on the character, but it's a really nice figure, and I wanted a more classic Spawn that I was more familiar with to go with that figure, and this one came along, and this one said to me, hey, you're probably not going to get a more classic looking Spawn than this. The standard for McFarlane, and you know, a board with a spike in it or something like that, like the very original Spawn figure came with. That would have been nice and really put this one over the top for me, but you know, instead he came with the chains, and that's okay. Overall, I am pleased with this guy. He's going to fit in my display with the Violator, so that's nice. And you know, I have a Spawn in the same scale as Batman now, so you know, when Batman and Spawn team up again, because you know they did back in the 90s, so when they team up again here soon, you know, I'll have a Spawn and a Batman in the same scale. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.